Hello and welcome our viewers. You're watching WTV English News. I'm Tihar Kabi with the summary of latest local developments. The Federal Supreme Court set next Thursday a date for the consideration of the submitted appeals for the Third Amendment of Election Law. Spokesman of the court, Ayas Asamouk, said that the Federal Supreme Judicial Court set a public session to be held at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning to consider the suits established by the President of the Republic in addition to his function and the Board of Commissioners and the Kurdistan Democratic Party to resume the law of the Third Amendment of the Election Law. The House of Representatives declared submitting an appeal to the Federal Court in a formal amendment to the Third Election Law of Council of Representatives. The Federal Court responded earlier to the Commission's request for the court order to suspend the implementation of the Third Amendment to the Election Law. Prime Minister Haidar al-Abadi calls the security services to rise above all political differences. Al-Abadi, during a meeting with a number of military and security leaders, said that the security forces must deal neutrally with everyone without bias to any party, while warning of the dangers of presence the weapons out of the state. Indicated that the positions of the certain sides for weapons will lead to chaos and destruction and lose rights of the citizens. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs rejected and denounced the aerial bombardment of what is known as International Alliance, which targeted the forces of the immobilization at the Syrian border. Spokesman for the Foreign Ministry, Ahmed Mahjoub, said in a statement that any targeting of fighters of various names and locations of their fighting is a support for Daesh and help them to expand and try to organize their ranks, adding that Iraq calls on the countries of the world to solidarity in the face of terrorism and support of Iraqi forces. The Parliamentary Truth Committee provided information on the elections and described it important and dangerous to the charged commission with investigating the stores fire in the commission in Rusafa. The commission pointed out that the investigations led to the arrest of a group of perpetrators and suspects, stressing that the sensitivity of the subject and its seriousness makes the committee obliged not to disclose the details of the involved name in this incident until the completion of investigations in final form. The head of the Iraqi Turkmen bloc, MP Arshad Salehi, expressed his regretting for hiding the fraud and manipulation in Kirkuk. Salehi said in a statement that the Iraqi Turkmen regrets the policies pursued by some political sides in Baghdad to hide the fraud and electronic theft in Kirkuk and called on a judicial council and the federal court to deal with Kirkuk electronic file as special case indifferent from what happened in provinces of Salahuddin, Anbar, and Nineveh. The Center for Security Media announced the foiled attempt to form a terrorist cell in Baghdad to carry out criminal operations in the capital. The center said that the Federal Police Intelligence Units belong to the Federal Intelligence and Investigations Agency in the Ministry of Interior has managed to thwart the attempt to form a terrorist cell in Baghdad to carry out terrorist operations. He added that after distinguished intelligence effort, all members of the cell were arrested in different parts of the capital Baghdad and were referred to competent investigative authorities to receive their fair punishment. An officer in the leadership of Salah ad-Din operations revealed that Daesh organization active in northern areas of the province, indicating that this information was delivered to Baghdad and took no action. The officer said that the information confirms that the referred organization is planning to confuse the security targeting civilians. The officer, who preferred not to be named, pointed out that the organization took advantage of the government's concern with the file of elections and its consequences and began activities that, if not controlled, may distribute the security seriously, and calls on the security leadership to hold an urgent meeting between leaders of provinces of Nineveh, Salah ad-Din, Kirkuk, and Diyala to discuss the repercussions of these dangerous moves and put appropriate plans to control them. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.